as a teen. So what was your favorite music as a teen? We've already had, let's see, some country, some Dashboard Confessional. I love to see it. Buddy Holly, the Monkees. That's a great David Bowie, Bonnie Raitt, Jimmy Eat World. These are some, Cat Stevens, Avril Lavigne. These are some real classics. Yeah, this is great. So we'll get started in just a minute. Keep telling us your favorite music as a teen and tell us where you're from. And I'm so happy to be here with all of you. And we're recording.
And now we're recording. I wrote Jethro Tull in the comments. Okay, so I think we're ready. And thanks for getting that started. I'm just going to share my screen real fast. We'll run through a few slides and then you can start. Sarah,
Great.
You go by Shay. Would you prefer that?
Yeah, I go by my middle name, Shay. Shay Mirk is my legal name. It's on books and stuff, but in everyday life, I go by Shay. And okay, I live in Portland, Oregon. So hi from Portland. It's raining.
All right, give me 1 second to find those slides. I thought I had them up. And all right. So welcome everybody. If you're just getting in, welcome. It's another Friday night workshop. It's very cold here. Thank you for whoever just turned the captions on. I appreciate that. This is the Sequential Artists Workshop. Welcome. We do this every Friday night. We took over from The Believer, and when they stopped, we said, we don't want it to stop. We are a school, we're a nonprofit. We have lots of classes. You can learn it. You can find out at learn.sawcomics.org. Here's some things coming up. We have a course with Matt Madden. It'll be all constraint driven and lots of experiments. He calls it Build Your Own Labyrinth. That's coming up in March. Next week in this very slot, we have Heather Lose coming. She's going to do reality TV show comics. That's February 10th. Couple ways to keep going on a monthly basis. Sustainable Diary Comics with JD Lunt happens both in the network and also on Mondays, and then Drawing Health with Georgia Weber happens on Saturdays. That's really a great thing. What else can I tell you? We like to share on social media what we do tonight. So if you're interested, hashtag it Friday Night Comics. You can tag us at Comics Workshop. And I'll share Shay's info in the chat. Is it Mirk Drop or is that your website?
Yeah, it's Mirk Drop.
There we go.
Arcade Drop.
And I'll put that in the chat. Thanks to everybody who donated to keep these workshops free. We really appreciate it. We, like I said, are a nonprofit. That's one way we keep going. And I'm going to scroll through because we're running a little bit late today and say no inappropriate speech or imagery. Thanks for keeping it PG-13. Enjoy. Yay. We have Shay Mirk here today. That's their website. There's some pics from their Instagram. I think there's another one. Yeah, I'm just so excited to start to get to know you, and I'm so glad you're here, and I'm gonna shut up. But I'm here. I'll be sort of like summarizing what you do in the chat and if you need anything, just holler, and I'm here, and that's what I'll be doing. So welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, I'm a cartoonist. I mostly make nonfiction comics. So I make comics about my life, about other people's lives, and I work as a comics journalist. So I do journalistic stories, so reported stories that involve like interviews, lots of research that we drop as comics and publish. I work for a publication called The Nib, N-I-B, like the tip of a pen. And I also publish comics on my own, various places. So I love writing about my life. I love writing about other people's lives. I just love real life comics. So today we're going to be drawing your teen self. I'm going to draw my teen self. You are going to draw your teen self. If you are a teen, that's great. Or we're going to be mostly looking back into the past. So if you haven't come to one of these before, we are going to be doing some drawing. So you need like a piece of paper or an iPad, something to draw on, and then something to draw with. I have got a pencil, a pen, some colors, whatever you want to draw with is great. And I'm asking people to introduce themselves in the chat by saying where you are And then what was your favorite band or artist as a teen? So tell us the music you listened to as a teen. So what I'm going to do is do a little presentation. I'm going to share comics from 3 different artists who drew themselves as teens. And then that's going to be our inspiration for doing a little drawing practice. So let's go. Let's do it. Okay. Oh, hang on one second.
There we go.
Here we go. Great. That's me. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Mirk. Drop on there. So this is a photo of me as a teen. This is a 17-year-old camp counselor at a science camp here in Oregon. And this is me really trying to look tough. I love this photo for a bunch of reasons. But if I was trying to draw this photo, one thing I would try and do is capture all those details of what's going on here. So does anybody see any interesting details in this photo? What looks interesting about what I'm wearing, what's on my body? If you were trying to draw this, what kind of details would you bring out?
So in the chat, they're saying that watch, the tat,
Yeah.
the Weezer shirt, the Snoopy bangs, swatch, temporary tattoo or real tattoo, glasses.
That is a fake tattoo that I drew on my arm.
What is Tony Bird? Somebody says, oh, maybe that's somebody's music where they like.
Yeah, so I've got a Weezer tank top looking real tough.
Somebody says those guns, the biceps.
Yeah.
The pose.
I'm like actually like kind of buff, and I'm like doing a tough pose. I'm wearing a swatch. I drew a fake tattoo on my arm, and I've got it is a Swatch watch. It's a plastic watch. And I've got these kind of like really iconic kind of hipster glasses that were really popular in about 2003 when this photo was taken. So this is how I drew myself as a teen. I made comics back then too. I've made comics my whole life just to process my thoughts and feelings and experiences. And in these drawings, I captured a couple of those details. You can see I was trying to get my hairstyle here. I got those iconic glasses. But to me, these drawings feel a little generic because they don't have many of those other details. You know, I don't have anything on my shirt. It just doesn't feel like there's that much that's expressed here besides getting those glasses and that hair in these drawings. And as you can see, I, as a teen, was pretty angsty. I was having a midlife crisis. I was wishing I was at protests, you know, unchanged since my teens. So that's one idea I want to hit on here is that, you know, with comics, we're not drawing photorealistically. We're trying to create a character. So one way to make a character feel real, no matter how cartoony or quick your drawing style, is to focus on those details that kind of help visually bring out who they are. Without having to say any words, you can kind of infer some information about them. And that can help bring out visually who that character is and what they're interested in. So we're going to look at 3 different artists today. And the first one we're going to look at is Eleanor Cruz. So Eleanor Cruz is a British artist, and she drew this book and wrote this book, The Times I Knew I Was Gay. I love this drawing of herself as a teen. Look at all the details on this drawing of herself walking on the street. What kind of feelings do you get from this drawing? What details do you notice? And what kind of just vibe do those details add up to creating? And I'll read some ones from the chat. Yeah, she's got a bounce in her step, says Isabella. She looks confident. She's got those shoulders back, confident vibes, confident stride. She's got big ears. And then she's wearing this shirt that says doom and gloom, and it's got this like, kind of like, yeah, as Jerry says, the goth cross necklace and the skull waistband. So she's like going for a little bit of a goth feel, clearly in her dress, but she's like happy and she's bouncy and she feels really confident. I'm glad you guys see that too. So even in a drawing like this, that's, you know, it's relatively simple. You know, this isn't something that's, you know, a painting that took hours and hours and hours. This is a really beautifully simple drawing, and within even a simple drawing, we have those details that really help bring out the character and help us understand who she is. Oh, this is the question I just asked. Here's another book. This is by Mari Naomi, Dragon's Breath, which is a great collection of comics about their life. On this one, there's a page where Mari and Naomi drew themselves, and I took the text off of this page. We'll see it on the next slide, but I took it off here because I want to ask the same question. Okay, that's Mari and Naomi on the left, and a guy on the right. Tell me what you think about her, what you think that guy is, maybe. What kind of details do you notice about what Mari and Naomi is wearing? What kind of feel do you get from them in this drawing? And I'll just read some from the chat. Yeah, we got those boots. There's something important about those boots going on here. Those boots are important. Yeah, someone said the guy is like talking smack, says Jackie. Yeah, the guy looks menacing. You know, we can tell he's menacing because he's got that furrowed eyebrow. He's got those crossed arms. Maybe the guy is even talking to the boots, says Isabella. There's definitely a relationship between the guy and the boots going on here. We've got that tough leather jacket. Yeah. So Mars looking like a punk here. Here's what the text on the page explains. And I'll read this aloud. 1989, I thought I was so tough. I was 16, I quit school, my ex-boyfriend was in jail. I got some kick-ass boots, just like my pal Joe's boyfriend. Self-protection, in case guys like him came after me for having too much skin pigment. I'll overlook your dirty blood since you're Joe's friend. I'd never been in a fight in my life, but I could glare the paint off the walls. Steel toes. So you can see from these details that they explained that they're wearing these steel-toed boots. They're thinking, you know, I'm going to use these for protection against people like this really racist skinhead guy who I've met. And we can tell some details about him just by looking at him. We get a bad vibe, right? And from Mari and Naomi's drawing of themselves, we get that feeling of like, you're trying to look tough. You're trying to look like you can stand up for yourself. It's all about that jacket. It's all about those boots. And here's one more. This is from Gender Queer by Mari and Naomi. Obviously a beautiful memoir, if any of you have read it, really tender, really sweet. And this is a really nice portrait that Maya did on one page of himself of himself at age 18. So look at all the beautiful details here. Feel free to chime in the chat on any that you notice and that stand out to you. But I love the way that Maya took some of those details and dropped them into this other panel here, saying, "Here's what's in my bag. Here's what I was carrying around." And like we've got those zip-off pants, which are great. I think I have just a panel of this. Yeah. So Maya uses air pronouns, but by the way, so if you're talking about Maya, it's you know, what is E wearing? What's on M's shirt? So in this case, E is wearing these like classic zip-off cargo pants that I think of as just like so practical, but also so dorky. You know, these like very like dorky Northern California look here to me. And then they've used, you know, and then on this page, Maya used text to sort of explain some of those details. I think it could work pretty well without text too. So I just wanted to share another passage from The Times I Knew I Was Gay. When we talk about clothing, it can bring up a lot of big emotions. It can bring up a lot of big stories in our lives. Even when we're just talking about pieces of clothing, it can really tie into like our identity, our gender, our sexuality, our family, how we feel about ourselves in the world. We just looked at those 3 pictures, and even then we feel like there's a lot that comes up. So here's another little passage from Times I Knew I Was Gay. I didn't like being judged, so I tried to show off a tough exterior, a barrier that said, "Don't mess with me." But that tough persona broke down when I was teased. Like when I wore the training bra I'd been so proud of. "Mommy, look, my bra." "What is that?" I had felt really cool when my old friends had seen it. But then suddenly my bra seemed so childish, so small and silly. "What is that?" "My bra." So this, you know, a small detail like what bra someone's wearing, digging into that piece of clothing can really bring up a whole lot of feelings and a big story behind it. So this is what we're going to work on for just a minute. I want you to do a quick rumination. You can write this down or just think about it. We're going to take like 3 minutes. Think about an item of clothing that was significant to you as a teen. So this could be something you loved, like a favorite jacket, shoes that you wanted, a shirt you begged your parents for, or something that you hated, like a uniform you had to wear or clothing that caused you gender distress. So either on paper or just mentally, try and make a list of 3 significant items of clothing to you. Okay, and I'm going to write some down on my piece of paper that I'm going to turn on the screen for. Oop. Okay, we're going to take like 3 minutes. Ready? And Tom, could you do me a favor and spotlight my other camera?
Yeah, I sure can. Give me a second. It'll be small, but if you want to stop sharing.
Oh.
I think it was an echo in the audio, right? If you want to stop screen sharing for the moment, I typed up what you wrote in the chat,
Okay.
and then that way you could, yeah, there you go. Mia says they grew up in a borderline Baptist cult and had lots of rules with clothing. So this ought to be interesting.
Karen, you asked in the chat, something we owned or can it be something we wanted? Yeah, it can be something you wanted but never owned. Like if there was a pair of boots you really wanted, but you never got to get.
Oh boy, it's a whole nother can of worms.
I like the question in the chat. It's from Emily. It says, can a certain lip gloss be part of the outfit? Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to write down on mine, coconut scented body glitter, which I wore as a teen.
Fantastic. I was glued to my lip medics, Emily says.
Oh, yeah.
Carol is looking back to old sewing patterns. Awesome.
Okay, hopefully you've got a list of a few. So we're going to move on to the next part of this. And
I'll replace your spotlight there.
okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Can you guys see this again?
Yep.
Okay. So here's our first 10-minute drawing challenge. We're going to take a piece of paper and we're going to fill up the whole piece of paper, or if you're drawing on Procreate, make a new canvas. And we're going to basically draw it in quarters. So think of the piece of paper in quarters, and in the top quarter of the page, whichever one, left or right, I don't care. In the top quarter of the page, you're going to draw a full body portrait of yourself as a teen wearing one of those emotionally significant items of clothing. So it doesn't matter how simple your drawing is. You don't even have to look like a human. You can be like a blob shape if you don't like drawing a human. Just try to incorporate some of the details that help visually tell the story of who you were as a teen. And what I do want you to do is to label the significant clothing item and tell us what it is. So if yours is a very special Smackers lip balm that you wore every day and felt significantly about, then label Smackers lip balm. I'm going to draw myself wearing that Weezer shirt that you saw in the beginning, that Weezer tank top that I felt so tough in. I'm going to draw myself wearing that. So we're going to take about 10 minutes to do this. And you can hopefully see me drawing on my screen.
I'll spotlight that, and I just typed in the chat what you just wrote, so I think we're good.
Cool.
There we go.
Oh, you can draw your top left or top right, whichever one you feel like going for. We're going to draw other elements on the rest of this page. So whatever you feel like. And if you don't want to follow the rule, you don't have to, Tom. You can go your own road.
No, I'm gonna try. I just
yeah. I'm gonna have other things for the other parts of the page. So hopefully we're gonna create a full page here by the end.
Cool. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be drawing this hat again. The less said about it, the better.
think I might just spelled the word tattoo wrong. Oh well, it's in pen. There's no going back. So 2 T's, 2 O's.
I can never remember. Never remember.
I have
It's
several
not underlined.
tattoos.
It's
Okay,
not
great.
underlined on your sketchbook, so it must be right.
The more I write it, the weirder it looks, you know. Okay, great. I spelled it correctly. And we've got about 4 more minutes of this, so keep going. And I'm gonna ink with this Tombow pen. I love Tombow pens. They're like a brush pen on one side, and then they're like a little smaller pen on the other side. I like them. If I have enough time, I'll do some color too, but might be too ambitious. One detail I'm including here is my precious Nalgene bottle that I carried everywhere and was covered in stickers. Does anyone else carry around an Nalgene bottle, or did you as a teen? This was like a big part of my camp counselor identity.
Is it a particular brand of bottle?
Yeah, it's like a big water bottle. It's like
And
a
what's
liter size water
Oh
bottle.
wow, what's the brand?
Nalgene.
Nalgene.
Dorky.
Oh, me too. Nosy know it.
Nalgene. Nalgene. Yeah. Why was that out? Why was it a thing? I don't know, but I was very hydrated. Okay, we've got like 2 more minutes. So, and mine was like covered in stickers, like bumper stickers, you know.
Getting some great responses.
Oh yeah, you had. I saw someone in the chat said you had like the mouth was too wide. You just spill water over yourself every time you drink. That was me too. And then I bought like a little insert, leveled up the Nalgene that like makes it a smaller mouth. But altogether, not a great thing to be carrying around at all times. Mine was clipped to my shorts with a carabiner at all times. I did not identify as queer at this point in high school, but I did have a carabiner attached to my shorts with an Nalgene hanging off of it with an Elliott Smith sticker on it. So anyway, future in store for me. Okay. Like another like 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna put in some black. I love, Chris, you're still putting stickers on your water bottle and you're still excited about it. I'm so glad. That's great. Okay, if you're still drawing, that's totally fine. We're just going to go on to keep drawing another part of the page. So you can just keep at it. I'm going to share my screen again and share some more inspiration. Boop, 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 boop. So this is a page by Mari Naomi from that same book, Dragon's Breath, about that leather jacket. So we saw the comic they did with them wearing the leather jacket, talking about trying to be tough. And then this is a comic that they wrote about acquiring that leather jacket. So it says, I got my first leather jacket when I was 16. It was sort of a gift from a guy I worked with at a fancy restaurant in Mill Valley. He was a waiter and I was the clumsiest busser in the history of restaurants. Scott, I can't remember his last name. He's handsome. Girlfriend, please. Mm-hmm. People talk like this in 1989. After our shifts, he'd drive us to the waterfront. We smoked and watched the sky get lighter. When Scott made me laugh, it didn't matter that I was a high school dropout, still living with my parents, working in a dead-end job. What's your boyfriend in jail for anyway? He's not my boyfriend, not anymore. He was the only friend of mine that was not trying to get in my pants. I was so lonely. So I love how this story about a leather jacket can just bring up so much about their life. You know, it's such an intimate sort of window into their life, just like by talking about this one item of clothing and how they got it. So in the next quarter of the page, you're going to show what's in your bag or in your pockets when you're a teen. What would you be carrying around? And we can take some inspiration here from Mayako Babe, doing this little inset panel of what's in my bag. So what was in your bag as a teen, or what was in your pockets? If you're a teen now, you are obligated to draw what is literally in your pockets right now. I hope there's some teens on this call. So that's not my share, but in the next quarter of the page, so wherever you can fit it next to the big drawing of you, feel free to squeeze it in creatively, however you want, what's in your pockets.
Oh my gosh, Emily says they had a leather jacket that they borrowed that had a sock in place of a pocket.
Oh, whoa. Oh, someone in the chat, Sin, asked, I don't think I carried a bag as a teen. Maybe a backpack, maybe a purse, maybe your pockets. If you didn't ever carry a bag, just put something else in the corner there. What else? What else is interesting? I'm going to highlight actually my Nalgene bottle that I carried around all the time. So maybe highlight something special from your outfit Just highlight one of those details. If you can't think of anything you might have carried around. We're gonna take like another 2 minutes here maybe. And then do another one. Okay, you're welcome to keep drawing. I'm gonna show some more slides to help us finish out this page. So welcome back to my drawing. Just feel free to keep drawing while I'm talking. Okay, we're gonna look at a couple more pages from Genderqueer where Maya tells like a really intimate story about a piece of clothing, which in this case is underwear. So in this section in the book, Maya's talking about the horror of having to go to the store and buy underwear. I think it's at Target or something. So Maya says, I bought essentially the exact same ones for 15 years. I'd pull out the inevitable pink and purple pairs and give them to Phoebe, that's Maya's sibling, keeping only the dark, neutral colors for myself. Where are you, Hanes cotton bikini cut six-pack? It's not here. Ah, Phoebe, Phoebe. What? They don't have any of my plain underwear. Everything has lace on it. What do I do? Help me. Do you want to look in the boys section? Yes. Wait, is that an option? Will anything fit me? This is Phoebe's partner. Mila gets his there. Oh, wow. Interesting. There you go. Wow. They have dinosaurs. They have spaceships. These have comics on them. But will they fit me? Will they be comfortable? We'll rip open a pack in the dressing room and you can try them on over your other underwear, okay? So how do they feel? They feel good. No, they feel great. When I got home, it seemed like a small miracle. 6 pairs of underwear in one pack, and not one of them was pink. Why did I waste so many years buying underwear that I hated? I could have been wearing cute, nerdy briefs this whole time. So this is going to inspire the bottom half of this page. I want you to draw 1 or 2 scenes about how this item of clothing made you feel. Powerful, confused, dorky, tough. You can draw these as panels with borders, or just fill up the bottom of the page with one big drawing. Whatever feels good to you. We're trying to fill up the whole page here.
So like, in other words, we had 2 quadrants left. We were going to take up those 2 quadrants with this. Okay.
You got it. You're taking up the whole bottom half of the page, both quadrants of the page, with either 2 panels or just one big scene that spreads across the whole thing. I think I'm going to do one big scene. The main thing I'm interested in here is how this made you feel.
Sarah, is it necessarily the thing from the first panel?
Did something else come up for you?
Well, Renee is
I was
asking in the
thinking
chat.
the item of clothing you were thinking of as significant from that you drew in the first panel that you labeled. How did that item of clothing make you feel? But as Renee asked in the chat, if something else came up and you're like, actually, I thought something else I was doing this, it's your comic, do whatever you want with it. So Mika asked, what kind of pen is it? This is called a Tombow pen. I like these brush pens. Boop, boop. And then I just use for lettering, I just use like a Papermate Flare. It's great. Sin, I just noticed your link in the chat. Wow, that's really wild. You make those birds that are on my wall. So a couple people have asked about this poster on the wall. It's by this artist, Anush Shish, that's called National Bird. It's a commentary on surveillance, of course. But that's so wild that you also make 3D versions of those. It's cool. Okay, I have one more panel to do. I don't have time for this. Okay, I'm going to share mine because we're a little pressed for time, but you can keep drawing on yours. And if anyone else wants to share theirs, they're totally welcome to. So thanks for doing this. I know it's a challenge. And it's a challenge to fill up a whole page in just a short amount of time. So I'm going to show you how I did mine, and then you can all share yours. Okay. Can you spotlight me?
Sure. That one?
I'm gonna leave it. Nope, the
The other one? Sure.
Yeah. Big me.
I can only do it.
Oh.
Wait, that one or the phone?
Not my phone.
Not your phone. Oh, you should be spotlighted then. Are you not?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
cool.
No, there we go. Sorry.
Great.
Confusing.
Okay, cool. So at the top, it's me. I'm wearing my standard Weezer shirt. It says, "Does everyone have a snack?" Camp counselor vibes, because I was an actual camp counselor. Weezer tank top that I wore every day, plus fake Weezer tattoo that I drew on my arm. So that was the tattoo that I had drawn on there. I really wanted to get a Weezer tattoo when I turned 18, and luckily I did not. Then I'm carrying my water bottle, an orange low-top Converse All-Stars, the only shoe. Here's what's in my bag: chapstick, a tiny first aid kit that I made in an Altoids tin, and a sketchbook. And I always carried this Powell's branded Nalgene bottle. So panels at the bottom say, "This outfit made me feel tough and capable. First aid kit, check. Liter of water, check. Cool shirt, check. So prepared." While at the same time, desperately hoping to find community and connection. I hope someone else at the school likes Weezer. Notice me. So that's the feeling I was trying to get at, was both feeling like very like capable and confident, while also feeling like out of place and hoping people would notice these items I was wearing and comment on them and be like, I also do that. So that's mine.
Fantastic.
Thanks for playing along. Let's have you all share. Please raise your hand if you want to share using the reaction function. You can raise your hand and Tom will spotlight you.
Yeah,
Unless
sure.
Tom,
We're
you want
gonna
to share
go.
yours first.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
just real fast. I'm just gonna teeny tiny off the spotlight myself, but I'll be really fast. Oh, you did it. Look at that. It's a straw hat that had a hole in it, and I wore it, and it really made me think about why I wore it. So I went kind of deep. I'll talk about it some other time. And
I love where this is going now.
so
I want to know why you wore a straw hat with a hole in it.
Yeah, I never really thought about it. But I want to get to the other people, and I do have an episode that John Porcellino drew that I want to mention towards the end. But let's go on to some of you all. So we have Darlene, Gabriel, John, and Jerry. We'll go in that order. And what I'll do is I'll ask you to unmute, and then we'll spotlight you once you come on. It's Darlene. I haven't seen Darlene in a while. Darlene, are you there? Maybe Darlene's not there.
Okay, yes. Let's see.
Can you come on video? We can't see you.
Can't you see me? Oh,
No.
Yeah, sure. I'm actually looking at the still shot thinking, why can't you see me? Sitting there going, oh, yeah. Okay. So this is me, teenager, Burger King crown, typically wore black. Got to sneak off to the mall once with my friend and get this outfit with all these holes in it, really low pants. Usually had long fingernails, black painted.
I love this so much. I love all the details you got in there.
Thank you. Sometimes barefoot, not always, but in my bag was usually lip gloss that you had to apply with your finger, coins for the payphone, small hairbrush, pen, and a mini notebook, Tampax. And we would usually hang out at this little restaurant that did milkshakes and burgers. And my friend saying she loves the outfit. And I said, thanks. I had to sneak out of the house to wear it. And the owner says, his exact words were, if those pants get any lower, you'll have to wear a hairnet. I'll never forget it.
So gross.
He was so gross. He was gross. Yeah.
What a creep.
A creep. Yeah.
I love your
Awesome.
drawing of yourself. I love all the care you put into those details.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
It's really wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Awesome, Darlene. Thank you. We'll go to Gabrielle next.
Also, that line will haunt me forever now.
Yeah, it's still in my head. Right.
Awesome. There we go.
Hi. Awesome presentation, awesome workshop. Looking at the presentation made me want to like look at old pictures of myself. So I like found some old pictures that kind of look like this.
I love it.
Like really big braces as well. And my like I guess item of clothing was the hoodie. It's like the oversized like high school branded hoodie. And I carried my iPhone 5 with me and my 3DS and a sketchbook. This was like 6 years ago. But yeah, and then I kind of made my hoodie kind of like, it was kind of like my hoodie of safety. Like I'm non-binary, so it kind of like felt almost like my dysphoria hoodie at the same time, but it was just very comfy. And so it always made me feel very safe at the same time. So yeah,
that's wonderful. I love that drawing of yourself in the circle, like doing the arch over it is such a nice way to separate it. And then just like the expression on your face is really lovely. It's like you really get this feeling of peace, even in such a simple drawing.
Thank you.
Really sweet.
Agreed. Thanks so much. We'll go to John next.
Hi guys, thanks. I apologize for coming on a little late. So it's my drawing might look a little haphazard. I've got this is me with my red high top basketball shoes, and then I have a few random things like keys, crumpled up dollar bill, my Velcro wallet. So this was the 80s, and then up here I'm wearing sweatpants, and the girl next to me is saying, "Why do you always wear sweats?" Because I always wore them to school. And kind of similar to what you were saying earlier about like you having these like mixed feeling strong and then feeling a little bit other, like those sweats were that for me. Like it was kind of cool to wear sweatpants, but like for whatever reason I felt really vulnerable wearing them too. So I don't know, like it was always so hard to figure out what was cool, you know? So sweats was like a kind of a neutral, easy way to, I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, thanks.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you for sharing.
Totally makes sense. John, I totally forgot about Velcro wallets. They were in my teenage years too. So thank you for that. We'll go to Jerry next, and then Cheryl, and then Jackie. So Jerry's ready. There we go.
I'm not really done, but so I used to wear these Mork from Orc suspenders, and those rainbow suspenders that Mork, I don't know whether people actually ever have watched Mork and Mindy, but but like, and I somehow found them because they were around, and then I also wore this cap that I had sewn myself, and I was really, really proud of it, that I had done it out of corduroy, and it was this cap. It was kind of like my dad's golfing cap, but I really like, like I'd made it. and I have myself also I had a t-shirt. You were reminding me about the braces. I had braces, and I had a t-shirt that said "Tin grins are in," and I would wear that a lot. And it was like a smiley face with with braces on it. and then usually I would like roll up my my jeans. I don't know why, but I thought that was cool. And I carried a really, really like heavy backpack around with me all the time that had like everything in it. But I mean, actually, there was a kid in our class who picked it up once and said, "What do you have in here? Rocks?" But I carried it all the time. And then I also, so I just talked about these, but I guess I was pretty lonely. I didn't have like what I would call a friend group. And but I sort of aggressively tried to be like really, really smiley all the time and really like out there. And I guess Mork kind of like was my Robin Williams was my role model, which like doesn't bode well for life, but and I liked to wear kind of like Englishy stuff and, you know, a heavy watch. I didn't really have any sense at that time that I was like cross-dressing or anything. Well, maybe a little bit, but but I just thought it was cool, you know. So
Well, I know this was a quick exercise, but I could totally see you doing a longer piece about those suspenders and how you were trying to smile to please everybody and how the rainbow suspenders played into that. So it could be like the starting point of a bigger story. I love that.
Awesome. Thanks so much. We'll go to Cheryl next.
All right, so this is me with the baby tees
I love it.
and these iridescent, like fake leather shorts. They were white. And then this backpack, they were like super popular, like 1994 to 1996, I feel like. And I wonder if there was like an original brand. I know I got mine at Kmart and it wasn't very good quality. I remember having this ovoid shaped hair roller Velcro, and I'd like do my bangs in between classes. And I had this like blue mascara that I'd use. And I remember wearing this baby tee at dance, and we were never allowed to wear t-shirts. But then when baby tees came out, they're like, oh, they're tight enough, you could just wear it over your leotard. And I was never good at dance, but I was a good leaper, but my instructor never liked me. And then I wore the baby tee and she like mentioned it, and I was waiting for her to say that she didn't like it or something. And then she thought it was really cute. I was waiting for the like negative comment, but it never came. And then the shorts, I remember like the most beautiful girl in class had these shorts, and we were doing like Pinball Wizard, and she had these shorts, and I somehow also got the same shorts. And then I also got glasses, and I couldn't see anything while I was dancing anyway, and I couldn't see how terrible my smile was. So I think that's why my teacher hated me, because I didn't know how to smile.
Cool. Thank you for sharing this. I love all those details. It's really rich.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Cheryl. So we'll go to Jackie, Jim, and Michaela.
So mine's pretty thick with verbiage here, and I also can't post this online, I realize, because family members might see it, but as me, I'm like, what's up? And then, well, please like me. And then this my item is a silver chain that I wore around my wrist that my dad used to say, like, oh, I'll buy you a nice gold bracelet if you just stop wearing that. And I'd be like, no. And then all the stuff that was in my little army surplus bag was my Velcro wallet with my I felt really cool that I had an ATM card at like 17, and tampons, prescription strength Motrin, like my one really expensive makeup item I got in New York City, sugarless gum. I was always dieting, so it was not for sharing with others, and birth control pills, even though I wasn't having actual sex yet. The chain was really a necklace, but I wore it more like a bracelet. It made me feel alternative because it pissed off my dad. I also felt a little embarrassed because I was, you know, I probably got it like the mall or something. And I always wanted to push the envelope, but not so radically that I jeopardized my chance of going away to college. And that's me saying, like, I can't wait to get out of this hellhole. And, you know, the hellhole could be anything, like my high school, my abusive household, or like my snotty ass Philly suburbs. So yeah, that was all interchangeable. But
I love that.
Thanks.
I love that it became like a symbol of rebellion because your dad didn't like it. You know, that's great.
But still pay for me to go to college, Dad.
Yeah.
My grandparents did anyway. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome, Jackie. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm gonna go to Jim, Michaela, Renee. There we go.
I don't know if you can see this very well.
Yeah, I can see it great.
Awesome. So I started with my members only jacket that I, pushed up the arms up above my elbow, and I just wore that every single day. And I think, like Gabriel, it made me feel safe. But when I was filling out the, the other things I carried with me, I couldn't even remember hardly carrying anything in my pockets. I had my wallet, but I always carried I had my mechanical pencil in my ear, and I was always chewing on a toothpick. And I think I was just thought those were, like cool affectations to have. But I really settled on my watch because because I was able, and my pictures aren't quite as polished, but I set my watch. Of course, this was like the 80s, so I don't even know, like clocks and stuff weren't synced. I don't know if they are now, but I synced my digital watch to the bell. So regardless of what the clock said, everybody always asked me, hey, how much time do we have to the bell? How many seconds? And I could tell, down to the second. And I think, like you were saying, Shay, it was, like notice me, or like Jackie was saying, please like me. So that was kind of my way to, get noticed and, get everybody to, want to talk to me. So.
That's really interesting. I would never have guessed that Casio watch story could go in that direction. I love that. Thanks for sharing. It's very nice.
Thanks so much, Jim. Thanks. We'll go to Michaela next.
So I I was a teen in the early 2000s, and so I've got 16-year-old me. I have an Operation Ivy t-shirt because I was obsessed with Green Day, which I put in the chat, and they grew up listening to Operation Ivy. So I got an Operation Ivy t-shirt because I needed to show, like, not only am I just a Green Day fan, I like know the bands. I'm fully in it. And then I got my Hot Topic studded belt. I had to wear black Dickies pants. And then my faded black Converse with lyrics and cartoons that I drew on all the like rubber sole parts. And then I also had a guitar pick from one of my favorite bands that I got at one of their shows. And so this whole ensemble was pretty much what I wore all throughout like high school. And then I, of course, in my bag, I would always have my iPod video in a protective case. Nothing could happen to it. I had my composition book filled with comics. I made comics and I would hand off composition books to my friends of the new installment of my comics. A Tower Records gift card, because there was a Tower Records that we would go hang out at all the time. So rip Tower Records. And then notes passed between classes with my best friend. We were always like planning, okay, what are we going to do after school? And then I have, I was so against everything in the OC. At the time, the TV show, the OC, was really big, and I was living in Orange County. So I was just like, I hate Orange County. I hate it here. Everybody's so preppy. I don't listen to pop music. I don't wear preppy clothes, whatever. I'm cool. I'm a punk. I was just like, I go to concerts, and that was just my whole personality. But I of course came off as pretentious, and but I was really close with my punk friends because they were really the only people I felt connected with. So that's why I wanted to show that as my identity as a teen.
I love everything about that. I love that it's so specific. I really got a sense for like you and the time period and where you were living, and all those details really help tell that story. It's really nice.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Michaela. We'll go to Renee next, if they're in there. All right.
Hi, I came super late, but I did my glasses. So I said, I wear glasses, purple plastic brim, so I can see. It's important. And then stuff I had in my pocket was chapstick, pack of tissues, keys, wallet. And then I have how I felt. It was wait a minute. Oh, hate wearing glasses. Oh boy, can't see it. Okay, it's shameful, disgusting. I look nerdy. I'm blind without them. And then the last panel is I felt defenseless, called four eyes, and nerdy. I'm sorry, and nerd and ugly. I felt sad. Yeah. No,
That's
school.
so
You're
tough.
good for me.
Yeah, that's a tough story, but that's really personal, and I'm glad you shared it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Renee. We'll go to Alun next.
Okay. Once again, I did mine on my tablet. Can I share my screen? Or?
Oh, yeah, I'll let you do that. Hang on a second.
Thanks. Just let me know. Yeah, mine is a bit kind of, I don't know, maybe a little bitter. I'm sorry. I maybe should have chosen a different article of clothing if I'd known what we were going to do after that. But yeah, so in the first panel, one of the things I'd written down was that this suit that, like I said, I grew up in a religious family. You know, my parents took me to church every Sunday, and until a certain day, until I was someday when I was, I think, about 13, I don't remember exactly how old I was, but a young teenager, I just had, slacks and a dress shirt. And this older couple thought that I looked like I was shy or lacked self-confidence. It must be because I didn't have a full suit. So they gave me a 3-piece suit. And I hated wearing that suit. But since it was a gift, I had to wear it to church every Sunday from then on. And then, so I didn't know where I was going. The corner of what I carried with me has nothing to do with the rest of the page, as I wrote up there, because these are things I didn't usually take to church, but things I did carry with me as a teenager elsewhere. I had a notebook I carried almost everywhere that I called my anti-boredom. And I had papers that just stories, ideas, sketches, plans for computer games that I had no idea how to create. Just all these different papers of stuff. And if I had a laptop or a tablet or a smartphone, I probably wouldn't have needed that notebook, but those did not exist yet. So, and I also carried around a huge Swiss Army knife that I never used. But anyway, but then I hadn't realized we're going back to the outfit story. So the rest of the page goes back to that, of course. That I wasn't sure why my parents accepted the gift. I mean, my parents weren't poor. If I needed a suit, they could have bought one. But I was too polite to tell the people who gave me the suit how much I didn't want it. So I kept on wearing it every week and hating it. And the couple who gave me the suit probably never knew how miserable they had made me and were smugly congratulating themselves on their good deed. So yeah, I'm sorry. That's kind of bitter, but I really did hate
No,
that
I like
suit.
that. I like sharing a sad story. That's
Okay.
nice.
Anyway, stop sharing.
Yeah.
Now.
It's a bummer story, but it's real. So thanks. Thanks, Loon. We'll go to Jordan next.
Oh, okay. Hello.
There we are.
Let me share. Oh, it's right here. Let me share that. Could you allow me to screen share, please?
Oh, I can. Yeah. Hang on a second. Give it a try now.
Okay. Okay. So I have this green hoodie that I really, really loved. And I can't remember, I don't even know what happened to it, but it was my favorite hoodie. And it was thrifted and it was like green and white. And I had a skateboard. I was also a teen in from 2000 to 2004. Yeah, I had this green JanSport backpack that I really, really loved. And it looked like Green Lantern because I was really into Green Lantern at the time. I had a DC skater wallet, so I wanted to be a skater. Like I wanted to do the X Games so bad, but I was so afraid of breaking a bone that I just cruised around. And I had a skater wallet, and if you lived in San Francisco, like I did, before Clipper cards, you had fast passes. So I had a youth fast pass. And then in my backpack, there was always random art supplies, a sketchbook that I used to get from Pearl Art Supply. It was hardbound, and I felt really fancy about it. And then I also had always had a half-eaten burrito in my Rip Pearl. Yeah. half-eaten burrito in my backpack. And all of my hoodies were just like safety blankets, right? So like I wore this hoodie and I would wear it and it would be frayed. I would suck on the tassels at the end just cause. And then I would always wear it at night skating around. And I just felt like I was super, when we talk about feelings, I was like incognito all the time. And then the great thing about this hoodie and all hoodies is that in the fall or Indian summers in San Francisco, you could always wrap it around your waist and you could just have it on and like just be prepared for that. And I did this style in kind of like a technical drawing style. I love that for when you're like explaining everything that you have on. And cool, thank you so much.
Yeah, I love how you filled the page here. It's really nice.
Thank you.
Cool.
Really
Yeah.
great stuff. Thanks so much. Okay, we're gonna go to Naders. There we go.
Awesome. So first of all, this is fantastic because one of my favorite things to do is just watch people and try to guess what kind of kid they were like. So this is awesome. I'm loving this. So this is mine. I was a kid that was really into fashion and theatrics. I was a costume designer for like the local theater thing. And so I would just wear costumes all the time. I bought a gas mask and I still have it. And I had a cape that was a kid's cape that I would wear to school. And it was just, I loved, I loved standing out in that way and just being goofy. I never wanted to grow up, so I didn't. Always carried around a yo-yo or a toy or something. Carried around like handmade sketchbooks. Had this old scrappy Bible because I liked debating with Christians. It was great. I was anti-phone because that was another thing. Like growing up, I came from the era that we didn't have phones, so I didn't have a phone. Still have a flip phone. And then this is my comic of just a group of pretty generic people, and then me wearing like a mascot head to be the different one. Yeah, and so that was me, always trying to be different. I was afraid and terrified of being boring.
I love that. I love how you expressed how you felt about it with no words. It's always a struggle to do. So just having that visual representation, that's really cool.
Nice.
Amazing, really amazing. Thank you. We'll go to Michael next. Michael, are you ready?
Yeah. Can you pin me?
Yeah, are you on? Where are you? There
Yeah,
we are. Sure can.
Yeah.
Oops, give me a second, Michael.
I can't do
There we
camera.
go.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, this is circa 1980. I found this fringe buckskin jacket in a thrift shop, but I couldn't afford it, but I wanted it. So I tried to walk out with it without paying for it, and I got caught and I had to give it back. But I love this jacket so much. I was just thinking about it like a few days ago, because now I could afford the jacket, but I'm too old and would look dumb. But I really wanted it when I was a teenager. Let's see. Yeah, so at the bottom, that's me in the thrift shop, discovering it. And in my pocket, cigarettes, a Zippo lighter, a rapidograph, and a journal.
That's wonderful. But the texture here is so nice. I love all your gray. It's really nice. And yeah, your cheekbones really stand out there.
Yeah, actually, I found on Facebook. I had some. Oh no, I don't see it. Oh yeah. Yeah, this was me.
Heartthrob.
Wow, it's cool to see. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Thanks, Michael. Nice to hear from you again. We'll go to KT next and then Lizzie.
Hello, This was a blast. So I drew myself wearing what I wore pretty much all the time in the summer, t-shirt from a high school extra credit program I did. And my like item of choice was boys jeans from Old Navy. I was like, oh, I just really want to wear boys clothes for whatever reason that I'll unpack later. And I did in fact pose like this in many photos. So I thought that was fair to capture. I didn't carry a bag with me, but in my pockets, I was always on the go. I was like biking, running, doing who knows what, but I did need to be able to write down story ideas. So I folded a piece of paper in quarters and would carry a pencil and stop and write stuff down and fold it back up. Honestly, a lot of the time couldn't read it after because the pencil would fade, but I had a library card also and a duct tape wallet that I made myself. And then my little scenes, I went with how I felt. So in these shorts, I felt unlimited. I could do anything. They had pockets, they were comfortable. They didn't cling in weird, annoying ways. And I also felt like I was getting away with something.
That's wonderful. Yeah, we really get a feel for you there. You sound like a cool teen.
Really awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks,
That's really
Kitty.
nice.
We'll go to Lizzie next. Here we go.
Hey. This has been really fun. I also thought it was funny. I just read Times I Knew, or whatever that book. The Times I Thought Knew Should Have Known.
The Times I Knew I Was Gay.
Yes.
By
That
Eleanor
one.
Cruz.
And then I just got genderqueer out of the library again today. And
Oh,
also
cool.
like 2 days ago, I went through all my old pictures and saw me as a teenager. So I was like, I'm prepared, I guess. I did not mean to do that. So we got Baby Liz, where, you know, I had the swoopy bangs all the time. I wore a green bandana or something every day. I still do that. I'd wear a Boy Scout shirt a lot of the time that I took like from my friend's little brother. More stuff to unpack later. I feel like a lot of queer people on here are like, oh yes, high school was queer. I remember I had like some purple skinny jeans or something, and like these Vans that were checkered that were just like absolutely falling apart. It was just the mouth all the time. I know all this because of the photos I looked at. I had like a JanSport backpack that I'd found and I'd painted all over it, and this dinosaur kid's lunchbox that I'd fill with like notes and pens. And I didn't have a phone, but I would draw cell phones on paper and then cut them out and then write texts in them. And
It's really funny.
So I would have a lot of that in my bag. So high school was lots of bright colors and fun, and unsurprisingly not very introspective, but that's coming now or later.
I love that. Cutting the phone out of the paper and writing notes on it.
You could make ones that had a sliding function or flipped open or whatever.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we definitely want to see your graphic memoir when it comes out.
Oh no.
Yeah, unpack and then draw.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go to Kay next, and then Shauna, and then Lee.
Great, thank you. We are having a blast on our Friday night. So I was a teen in the 90s. So you can see I was wearing a flannel shirt, camouflage shorts, and a tie-dyed shirt. The specific tie-dyed shirt has a little happy face on it, which I drew a little more. You could see a little better. I bought it at a street fair, and I was not very cool, and I thought, if I'm not going to be cool, I should just be the dorky person that I am and just make sure everyone knows exactly how dorky I am. So I couldn't find them, but I did see some pictures of my teenage self recently, and I'm wearing this horrible combination of plaid flannel, tie-dye, and camouflage in an alarming number of these pictures. And I'm now really happy that flannel shirts are kind of cool and available again. I can just put my uniform back on. And I'm here with my not yet teen, who we're imagining the teen future. Are you going to show it? And we were relating a lot to the hoodie drawings. You want to say anything about your hoodie drawings?
I really like my hoodie, and instead of putting it around my waist, I put it around my neck like a cape, and I always feel like Batman. And I just really like my hoodie, but I left it in the car, so I don't have that right now.
Yeah, we're gonna order a bigger size so that we can still wear it when we are teenagers.
Yeah,
That's great. I love it. That's so wonderful.
Really awesome. Thanks so much. Okay, we'll go to Ashana.
Oh, hello. So I hope y'all can see this. I know I blurred my, there we go.
You just hold it right in front of your body.
Yeah. Crap. So yeah, basically back in high school, I just wore clothes that just could not fit me because I had like a severe case of eczema. So I just didn't like wearing clothes that like sometimes would stick to my body. It was very uncomfortable time. So I just wore clothes that were just way too big for me. And also because of, just not being confident, I was just wanted to hide in my big ass clothes. So in my pockets I had like an MP3 player that I'm not sure how I got. It was like 2010s, but I'm pretty sure I got it from my grandfather. I don't know why he had one. And I was so nerdy, I would just have a bunch of anime songs on it. And I also would always be carrying a comic, usually like Garfield, Peanuts, Calvin and Hobbes. And I always had my backpack full of heavy ass books because they just wanted to torture us. And for like this little comic strip that I did, I was just basically walking around the school hallway, just being glad that I'm invisible, but then getting struck by the locker door. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.
I think the way you drew your body is so expressive there. It feels like you put a lot of emotion into like the shape of your body. That's really nice. It's cool.
Thanks. Thanks so much, Ashana. We'll go to Lee next. I think we only have time for a couple more, y'all. So I'll ask Shay what they think.
I think we should go till the half hour, so like 5 more minutes.
That's 5 more minutes. All right. So maybe about 3 more, and then I think we'll share on Instagram and things like that. Here we go. Here's Lee. Oh, I think I'm going to have you unmute. Let me see if I can get you to do that. Try it again. There we go.
Okay, now can you hear me?
All good.
All right, this was around 1990s, late 80s, early 90s, and I drew myself basically I would steal anything and everything from my dad, who was in the Air National Guard at the time, so like Air Force sort of uniform stuff. So I had a flight jacket from him that I had stole. I had like a sweater that had epaulets on it. I would steal uniform shirts. And so I didn't really get to choose my own clothes for the most part. I didn't have any money, so I couldn't buy my own clothing. So it was whatever I was given, whatever I could talk my mother into making me, or what I stole from my dad. So I talked about how like everything I had didn't go together. So I would just make it work. I knew I was weird, and I just I did this on purpose. So that's why I've got like this Mandarin jacket that I had and these weird culottes and that. And then the purse that I most remember was I made it out of a pair of jeans that wore out. So cut the legs off, sew up the bottom, put a zipper in the top. And then I had like, I don't know why I decided I had to carry around a screwdriver and a wrench, but I did. And I had one of my dad's old ugly olive drab Velcro wallets and whatever book I was reading at the time, and a peppermint Smackers lip gloss, and just all the earrings. So that was what was going on with my clothing at the time. Oh yes, and when I finally got a job, I went to St. Augustine. I got to drive to the beach. I got like a car and a job, and I drove to the beach, and I bought the most ridiculous beach t-shirts. So Jimmy Buffett, this big lizard, just anything that was just weird.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
love the continuing theme of if you can't be cool, be loud and as dorky as possible. Continuing theme throughout these.
Awesome. Thanks. We're going to try and sneak in Jen, Mishka, and maybe Holy Diode. Jen, there you go.
Hi. Okay. So I tried to put something in the chat to actually show the picture of the bi-level do, but my Facebook is private, so sorry. Okay, so this was 80s me. It was more a la senior year, but I sort of felt like by senior year, I was starting to work out who I was a little bit more. 80s bi-level hair, a long army green men's cotton knit sweater that I bought at the surf skate shop I worked at, and called Sundancer, and a long black, a long knit black pencil skirt. And then I would always wear these black pointy flats. In my bags, I know there was a notebook, and around that time it would have been world history and astronomy. And then in my handbag, it would have been a pack of Marlboro Lights, the birth control pills my mom didn't know about, even though I didn't really need them. The brush and a wallet. Not there is the necessary can of hairspray to keep my perm fluffy. Little like Aquanet. I'm surprised that I still have lungs. The green sweater was a long men's sweater that didn't cling and hung straight over my round thighs and butt. I felt safe in it. It hid my breasts from stares, and it hid my round belly, thighs, and butt that my family always said were too big. I bought it myself. My mom hated it. And then that's a picture of what I hid from the world. This outfit made me feel protected. And then there's my two big breasts and my thighs that were too round.
I love this. This is so good.
Thank
Such
you.
a strong story.
Thank you.
Really great, Jen. Thank you. Shay, we're going to try and sneak in Mishka and Holy Diode. Is that all right? All right. And then everyone else, we're going to ask you to share on social.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm also in the 80s, and I'm also hiding in my clothes because we wore clothes big then. Even though I was friendly, I did what I could to hide. I hid behind my hair. My teachers couldn't stand the curtain of bangs. My dad was a big guy. I lost myself in his mission patch jacket. So these are a bunch of space mission jackets. The pocket had a huge hole in it, and I kept losing my stuff. So that's my yellow Walkman from the 80s. And I listened exclusively to world famous KROQ. And I especially appreciated getting insight into my peers' sex lives on Loveline. It was 3 hours every Sunday. My binders had a couple of things for my dad. One was a sticker that said no FOD, which was free object debris, which is very dangerous at an airport. And the other one was a circuit board from TI's Speak and Spell.
That's awesome. I love all the colors here too. That's really great.
Wait, you carried a circuit board around?
Yeah, my dad had worked at TI, and he brought one home, and I put it into my binder, and we would look at it and be amazed.
Amazing. Thank you, Mishka. Y'all, this will have to be our last share is Holy Diode. And then please, I'm putting it in the chat. Holy Diode left. We can scoot over to Karen, and then that'll be it.
Thanks. This is fun.
Thank you.
Okay.
There we go, Karen.
All right. Mine's like, geez, okay. I have to say, okay, I'll go fast because we don't ring on time. I had a tough time in high school, but for some reason I was thinking of this outfit, and I felt it was like this one day I felt really good about myself, like physically, and I just knocked over all this stuff. So basically, I had feathered hair. My hair was in feathers. I'm older than all of you. So this was like in the 70s. And it says, clean, soft hair, washed with either long and silky shampoo, Fabergé, wheat germ oil, and honey, or herbal essence. And I had these amazing pants that just fit so well. I just felt like $1,000,000. Like everything changed that one day. And these are clogs. And I don't know if I had pockets. I don't even remember. I had, this is what some people, what do you call it? Bonnie Bell lip smackers, Marlboro cigarettes, matches, and notes that I'd write to my friends, and keys. And I just wrote that the jeans, I just wrote about how the jeans made me feel really, really good. And I never had a pair of pants that felt that way. And I also really enjoyed, like I drew the shampoos. That was like, it was like just a really nice feeling when I washed my hair. Then the next day, it felt so like soft, and it just like I just remembered how good that felt, because I was pretty insecure, but like I just remember that one kind of day that I felt pretty good. So thank you. This was a great workshop. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, well, thank you everybody for coming and for sticking around. These comics are so nice. And if you feel like you didn't have enough time, you can definitely use this as a jumping off point to do a longer comic, or, make something else, see what it brings up. So thanks for sharing, everybody.
Yeah, I think a lot of graphic memoirs might have been started tonight. I hope. A lot of unpacking and a lot of graphic
75
memoirs.
graphic memoirs were begun tonight.
Sorry, we're going with a few hands still raised, but please share in the network or on social media. I'll paste it one more.
They're still talking.
Okay. I'll paste it one more time. There we go. Shay, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. So fabulous. And yeah, you really pulled a lot out of, I think everybody's just obviously got so many tender feelings, about teenage years, and maybe it's tender, definitely angsty, definitely something to be curious about when you're an adult, like what was that teenager wanting and stuff like that. Anyway, really great to go back there. Thank you so much.
Don't forget, you owe us a story about the straw hat with a hole in it. Don't think we've forgotten about it. Mystery of the straw hat.
All right, I'll put it on Instagram with everybody.
Okay.
I'm going to ask everyone to unmute. Let's see, how can I do that? There we go. Unmute yourself and just give a clap to Shay and say thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. That was
Jamie. I see Jamie there. We'll get you next time.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is really
Thank you.
fabulous. Really appreciate it. All right.